John Force stands as a true drag racing legend, far more than just a champion. Earlier in the season, he achieved his 157th NHRA victory, further demonstrating his greatness at the age of 75. However, nobody anticipated the horrifying mishap that would occur shortly after. Everyone was reminded of the sport's potential for danger by this abrupt, violent, and unforgettable incident. The collision that rocked the track. On June 23, 2024, in the opening round of Funny Car eliminations at the PlayNHRA Virginia Nationals, Force powered his Chevrolet Camaro down the track at full speed. Disaster struck shortly after the driver crossed the finish line at over 302 miles per hour. His engine exploded in a massive fireball. The car veered out of control, slammed into the left guard wall, then bounced across to the right wall before finally coming to rest. Fans, drivers, and officials held their breath. Miraculously, Force was conscious. In a matter of seconds, the NHRA safety team arrived, assessed his condition, and made arrangements for him to be airlifted to a nearby trauma hospital for emergency treatment. Quick medical attention. The severity of his injuries was immediately recognized by the doctors. Force had a broken wrist, a fractured sternum, and a traumatic brain injury. He received treatment in the trauma intensive care unit for the first 3 days. In order for medical professionals to concentrate on his brain recovery, he was then moved to a neurological intensive care unit. Although stable, his condition was critical. His fans and family had a particularly difficult time during this time. Yet updates from the hospital gave hope. Force was fighting hard, just as he always had on the racetrack. His journey home. After receiving non-stop medical attention, John Force was discharged from the hospital a few weeks later. He finally gets to sleep in his own bed, said Ashley, his daughter, echoing her relief. That moment marked a pivotal chapter for the entire Force family. He was able to continue his recovery in a more relaxed and familiar setting while he was surrounded by loved ones. A year later, introspection and convalescence. John Force discussed his recuperation process in public nearly a year after the accident. He acknowledged that he couldn't recall the immediate aftermath of the collision or even seeing the video. But he does recall the arduous and protracted process of recuperation. He started going to physical therapy and mental rehabilitation every day. He described the difficulties he encountered by saying, "It was a lot of work." His resolve, however, never wavered. He probably won't race again, but his love for drag racing is still very much alive. Force has focused his energies on coaching up-and-coming drivers, leading his race team, and still competing in his favorite sport. Even when he isn't driving, he claims he still likes going to the track, interacting with spectators, and feeling the rush of competition. The man who started the legend. One of the best careers in motorsports history was that of John Force. He has 157 career victories and 16 Funny Car titles since 1978. However, his impact extends beyond awards. By advocating for changes and higher standards in NHRA racing, Force significantly contributed to the sport's increased safety. Family is another part of his legacy. His daughters, Brittany, Courtney, and Ashley, are all professional racers. In fact, Courtney was at the track during the crash and rushed to his side. Brittany later stepped back from competition to focus on supporting her father during recovery. A word of encouragement. Force was swiftly embraced by the NHRA community. Austin Prock, a teammate of his, won the Funny Car division on the day of his crash. He vowed to bring the trophy to the hospital, dedicating the victory to Force. Support messages were sent by racers, fans, and the motorsports community as a whole. Force was frequently referred to as a tough cookie, a description he undoubtedly fulfilled during his recuperation. What does this teach us? 1. Safety is important. The collision demonstrated the advancements in NHRA safety technology. These developments helped Force survive one of the bloodiest crashes in drag racing history. However, it also calls into question how the sport can advance further, especially in the areas of track safety and barrier protection. 2. Adaptability at any age. Most drivers would have retired long ago at 75. Force, however, demonstrated that bravery and tenacity are ageless. His recuperation serves as a potent illustration of fortitude. 3. The strength of community. John Force wasn't fighting this battle by himself. He was backed by his fans, family, team, and a wider racing community. It serves as a reminder of the value of group power in trying times. 4. A durable heritage. Force's legacy is safe whether or not he ever goes back to racing. His influence will endure for many generations because of his leadership, his love of drag racing, and his mentoring of aspiring drivers. Concluding remarks. One of the scariest incidents in NHRA history was John Force's crash. However, his perseverance and recuperation reveal a tale far greater than racing. It is about love, strength, and the determination to keep going in the face of adversity. John Force may no longer be seeking victories, but he is still a champion in every way, a legend whose impact will endure forever.